Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Money Grabs. Yes, I noticed something that happened like 2 days ago and also yesterday. We have been busy in the grant ecosystem discussing about the cutback, the sharing formula, not the official sharing formula, but the sharing formula behind the scene that is going to be happening between the cluster head, the NGOs, the bundle head. So we've been discussing that for like 2 days. And you know the funniest thing? None of these grant handlers are coming out to say anything about it because they don't want it out as a secret. So and I thought to myself last night, that I think we are dwelling too much on this cutback. Yes, there are answers that are needed about the as in unifying the percentage, but I don't think it's going to work because people invested things differently. But I now thought to myself that we are dwelling too much on these things instead of focusing on the disbursement date 28 and the situation surrounding it rather than discussing about the cutback, because I noticed the grant handlers is like they are enjoying it. We have shifted our focus to other stuff and they just relax. They didn't want to mention anything about it. They didn't want to say anything. They just relax. And we too is like we are drifting away from the focus. Yes, I know 28 of this month is far a little. Maybe that's why we'll be looking for something else to focus on. But let us not lose our direction and our focus. Let's focus on that 28. Let's start to tell them they should put everything in place to make it happen. Not that when we get to 28, they will not say they are waiting for one signature or something. Let us focus on disbursement. Let us not be distracted by the cutback. The good thing about disbursement is the subscribers will receive their full money. So when you receive your full money, then you and your cluster head or your NGO will now start your discussion about the percentage. So one way or the other, the process still give you the power. So don't dwell too much on it. Don't worry. Give the power. I'm not saying that when you receive the money, you should not pay them, because agreement is agreement. You honor your agreement. They might not honor their own, but you should prove to them that you are better than them. Honor your agreement. If you agree to them to a certain percentage, if you agree, then you do it. But don't let them intimidate you or force you into anything that you do not agree on. Because a good businessman will have a plan and agreement before the whole thing when it comes to money matter. Me too, I found a lot of opportunities to put in people in some groups, but I stopped because the condition that was laid down, I know that many people will say yes, but when it's time to pay, you will not want to pay. And I don't want to be in the middle of it. That's why I just lay low that it's better not to be part of it. Because that was the time I noticed some people that they still needed some people to complete their list. And then they're not charging money, but the condition, the percentage after the whole thing is huge a little. And I know that many people will say, yes, put me. But when it's now time to pay, they now be saying, the percentage is too much. Other groups are not charging that much. So now let's leave all those aside. Let's focus on disbursement. Another thing that I heard yesterday, people are complaining that IMF is not coming forward. The government is not coming forward. How come everybody is silent? Only that we in the grant community knows that we are expecting grant. There's no official media thing from the government. Yes, it calls for awareness. It calls for people to be worrying that what's happening. Now this 28, I think just Lovely confirmed it, Madam Ngozi confirmed it, other people confirmed it, that it will start. But now, let them focus on doing any necessary thing that they need to do so that nothing will change that date. I know that the highest thing they can bring forward now is that the IMF are not yet in town. Maybe one reason or the other, they are delayed or their flight, whatever, will cross the next month. But they are not praying for that. And they are not coming out to say anything. And even they are still telling their NGOs, because I spoke to 2 NGOs, and the same information is what they are told. Those NGOs belong to Uaag. And they said from the top, they were told that 28 disbursement will start. But it's not the first time that things like that happen. But let's just hope that this time around, things will work. 28 is 28. Let us focus on it. Let us remind them. Go and sign anything that you need to sign. Go and work on anything you work. Go and visit your bank. Go and clear anything that you do as NGO. We don't want any story. So I'm just using this to all the other content people. Let's not be drifted away from the focus. The focus is disbursement. It's not about the cutback. Cutback is a side thing. Let's focus on disbursement because I noticed that no news is coming again concerning disbursement. Everything that is coming now is about the cutback, the sharing formula. We have not gotten the money and we're already fighting about the sharing formula. So let's focus on disbursement. What is happening? Anybody that have information that and they can come out and tell us what is their grant people saying, what is their grant handler saying, what is their NGO saying, what is their anybody that group or leader whatever is saying, what is happening in their platform. Yes, some people normally listen to voice note and I don't know, maybe because of data, they will not finish and they will not listen to the end and they will just jump into the comment section and talk. Some people are like asking me, what about your source? What about your source? What about your source? And I said, twice yesterday I posted and I mentioned about my source towards the end of the voice note. And I'm doing the same thing again now. My source is not yet in the country. But they still ask me like, oh, maybe I'm lying or maybe this. My source is not yet in the country. That means there's no money, no payment this week. So that's why my source is not in the country. No payment next week too. That is why my source might not be. Or maybe I come in late next week if they are going to pay by 28th. So it's not my contact is not in the country yet. That means I'm not expecting disbursement this week. Even stroke next week. But if they are going to pay earlier than 28th, then my source will be in the country. That's the point, simple thing. I've said it so many times, but people are still asking. And I said my NGO says so thing. You know that my NGO CEO is another source too, because at least the information given to him from Abuja from the Uaag, he will share it too. He's not sharing for everybody, but he shares to some of my people, and we know what is happening. That means we know what they told them, except they are lying to their own NGOs too. But so that's another source. My people from the international body too, that's another source. And at that time, we still filter information around to see what is happening. So for now, everything is quiet and silent concerning disbursement. Nobody is talking about it. And we have been drifted to the cutback and all these things. So let's put that aside. Let's focus and continue to mount our pressure towards disbursement so that they can start coming out to say, okay, everything is said. Although they said it before, I remember vividly, they said everything is settled, every document, everything is settled, only for disbursement to start. And disbursement will have begun, but the IMF picked 28. So when the IMF arrive for 28, disbursement will just start. That is it. So let's wait for that. Thank you very much and have a good day. And if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, now is the time. Information will be coming part time. So subscribe, click on the subscribe button, be part of it to receive more content like this. Thank you.